teardrop, the surface tension breaks.
I think this album, especially, there is a line in the song What the Future Holds that says 1 foot in the past, 1 foot in the future.
1 foot in the past and 1 foot in the future.
And that's definitely a theme that we've kind of carried through a little bit with this album. There's definitely an essence of steps of the past, certainly with songs like Something in Your Eyes and Heartbreak in This City, I think have got that feel.
So guys, are you aiming for what, your 4th #1 album with this one?
Oh, let's not jinx it. I mean, yesterday we were #1 on iTunes, so the signs are promising. After 23 years releasing albums, we don't take anything for granted. So just thank you to everybody for, downloading the album, for streaming. Hey, we're pretty cool these days, I'm just saying, because we've got cassettes, we've got retro, we've got vinyls.
Now, that's not the thing I thought you were going to say is why we're cool.
Okay, we're not cool, we're retro.
And going back to the start of Steps, the 90s and noughties, what did you love about that era of the band and indeed the music industry?
When we first started, the music industry was a very different place. I mean, even we, to a certain degree, we'd get private jets and helicopters to things, and it was a lot more decadent, I would say, than it is now. Everything's a little bit more DIY these days. It's good because I think it keeps us as, I suppose,
grounded.
I'm not going to say grandparents of pop, but maybe like uncles and aunties.
Vintage. We're retro. Again, we're retro.
Yeah, we're retro. It keeps our brains going.
Now, when we talk about things that we wish we could leave in the 90s and noughties, David and I, there's a few things we wish we could, but what would you quite like to leave back then if you could?
Do you know what? It's all part of our history, all part of our past. Yes, there are things that I look at and go, what were you thinking? But
curtains.
You have to own your history.
Which I had to.
We spawned so many bad haircuts through the 90s, so I apologise for that. But let's move past that and just remember the music. It's all about the music.
To be honest, I think I had a Steps-inspired haircut.
I've seen some of those photos. We should definitely
see that, please. Photographic evidence. It's going to be one of the first tours that happen after lockdown. So everybody, I think, they are gagging for a party. We are, I know we are. Download the album, learn the lyrics, and come and party with us.
And talking of touring, you guys toured with Britney Spears, didn't you?
21 years ago it was, 1999.
We were signed to the same record label, and we did one of our first big gigs in Singapore, and we were headlining, and bless her, Britney was actually our support back then. And then what happened was Britney returned the favour and asked us to support her on her tour. So yeah, it went full circle.
And I hope you guys know what Steps have done for this year, because first of all, you announced your comeback. Scotland then qualified for the Euros, and now we have a vaccine. Safe to say, I think Steps saved 2020.
It is a massive compliment. It's really funny. But do you know what? Even if we can shed a little glimmer of light or joy in amongst this really, really rubbish year, then that is really nice to hear that we've been able to do that for anybody.
Yeah, let's forget 2020 is a write-off. Let's look to 2021.
Yeah.